The noise hits first, not just sound, but energy. The kind that shakes an arena before a fight even begins. And in the middle of all that chaos, imagine a fighter walking out with no emotion on his face, no shouting, no showboating, just focus. Now imagine that same fighter is carrying something much bigger than a win streak. He's carrying history.
Here's the undefeated flyweight fighting out of Okinawa, Japan, Tatsuro Taira!
Because for years, one question has quietly followed the UFC: why has no Japanese fighter ever become a champion? And now, another question is starting to replace it. What if that finally changes in 2026? What if the fighter to do it is someone most fans still don't fully understand? His name is Tatsuro Taira.
Taira let go of the neck momentarily, thought about the left arm, now he's back to it. More than a full round of ground control time here.
And the closer you look at his journey, the more dangerous it starts to feel. So let's really ask it. Can Tatsuro Taira become the first Japanese UFC champion? Or is this just another story that ends before the final chapter? Taira's rise doesn't feel loud. It doesn't come with headlines every week or viral moments outside the cage. Instead, it builds quietly, fight by fight, win by win. But that silence can be misleading, because while people aren't always talking about him, his skills are evolving at a level that demands attention. Growing up in Okinawa shaped him differently. There's a calmness in him that you can't fake.
At 5 feet 7 inches tall, this mixed martial artist weighed in officially 125.5 pounds. In 12 professional fights, he stands perfect with 12 victories and no defeats.
It shows in the way he walks, the way he listens, the way he fights. He doesn't chase chaos, he controls it. Inside the cage, he looks like someone who has already slowed everything down in his mind. While his opponent is reacting, he's already planning. While his opponent is thinking about the next strike, he's thinking 3 moves ahead. And that's where things begin to separate him from the rest. Because fighting isn't just about speed or power, it's about understanding moments, knowing when to push, when to wait, when to finish. And Taira has that rare ability to feel those moments, especially when the fight hits the ground. This is where his identity becomes clear. His grappling isn't rushed, it's suffocating. He doesn't just take you down, he keeps you there. He doesn't just look for submissions, he builds toward them like a system. Every grip has a purpose, every transition closes a door. You escape one threat, and suddenly you're in another. That's why so many of his fights don't go the distance, because once he gains control, it doesn't feel like something you can take back. And that finish rate, it tells the story better than words ever could. He's not here to edge out decisions, he's here to end fights. And when a fighter combines patience with the ability to finish, that's when they become truly dangerous. That's when people start using words like special. That's when teammates and coaches start calling him something bold, the best. Not as hype, but as a belief.
Last year, Tatsuro Taira signed by the promotion in February straight away. Thought he might have to go through the Contender Series, but very highly touted prospect. 10-0, 3 wins in 2021 to punch his ticket to the octagon here today.
Now here's where the conversation shifts, because potential means nothing without proof, and Taira's path to the top isn't easy. It runs straight through some of the toughest fighters in the division. Let's start with Brandon Moreno. This is not just another opponent, this is a former champion, someone who has already lived the pressure of title fights, someone who knows what it takes to survive at the highest level. Moreno brings unpredictability, he brings heart, he brings experience that can't be taught. So what happens if Taira faces him? Can he stay composed against someone who refuses to break? Can he impose his grappling against a fighter who has seen it all? If Taira wins that fight, everything changes. Because beating Moreno isn't just a step forward, it's proof. Proof that he belongs in the same conversation as the elite. Then comes another dangerous name, Hyun Sung Park. A completely different kind of challenge. Where Moreno brings experience, Park brings intensity. He's aggressive, he's confident, and he doesn't wait for opportunities. He creates them. This is the kind of fighter who can disrupt your rhythm instantly, who can force you into uncomfortable exchanges, and that's exactly why this fight matters, because it tests something deeper than skill. It tests composure. Can Taira stay calm when someone is pushing him non-stop? Can he maintain control when the fight refuses to slow down? If he passes that test, then it becomes clear that his style isn't just effective, it's reliable.
Now Tatsuro Taira fights on. Tatsuro Taira's been close to that. He's ranked number 6. Hyun Sung Park can really jump into the conversation if he were to turn back Taira tonight. Taira's in black.
And then we reach a name that might define his entire run, Joshua Van. This is where things get complicated. Van is not the type of fighter who lets you settle in. He's fast, sharp, explosive. From the opening seconds, he's looking to take control. And that creates a serious challenge for Taira, because Taira's strength comes from building his fights, from taking away options gradually, from dragging opponents into deeper waters. But Van doesn't always give you that time. So now the question becomes even more intense. Can Taira adapt? Can he deal with speed and pressure right away? Can he survive the early danger long enough to turn the fight? Because if he does, that's when everything shifts. That's when his grappling starts to take over. That's when the pace slows. Not because the fight is calm, but because Taira has taken control of it. And once he gets there, we've seen what happens. Opponents stop moving freely. They hesitate. They start defending instead of attacking. And slowly, the fight slips away from them. But if Van keeps it standing, if he keeps the fight chaotic, then Taira is pushed into a space we haven't fully explored yet. And that's what makes this matchup so important. Because champions aren't defined by easy fights, they're defined by how they handle difficult ones. Now take a step back and picture the bigger moment, a UFC title fight in Japan. The arena filled with fans who have been waiting for this moment for years. The energy different from anything we've seen before. And walking into that moment, Tatsuro Taira, not just as a contender, but as a symbol of possibility, because this isn't just about a belt anymore. This is about breaking a barrier that has existed for decades. No Japanese fighter has ever reached that top spot in the UFC.
Tatsuro Taira. Tatsuro Taira.
And now, one fighter is closer than ever. But with that opportunity comes pressure. Real pressure. The kind that can change how a fighter performs. The kind that can turn small mistakes into big consequences. So the question becomes even deeper. Can Taira handle that moment? Can he carry the expectations of an entire nation and still fight the way he always has? Because if he can, then everything we've seen so far starts to make sense. The calmness, the patience, the control, it all leads to that one moment. But here's the reality that makes this journey so intense. Nothing is guaranteed. Not in this sport. One loss can delay everything. One bad exchange can change a career. Even the most talented fighters sometimes fall short. That's what makes this story so gripping, because it's not finished yet. We're watching it happen in real time. We're watching a fighter with all the tools, all the discipline, all the potential, trying to turn it into something historic. So think about it. If he beats fighters like Moreno, if he handles the pressure of someone like Hyun Sung Park, if he solves the speed and danger of Joshua Van, and if he earns that title shot in 2026, what happens next? Does he stay calm under the brightest lights? Does he execute the same way he always has? Does he finish the fight the way he's done so many times before? Or does the moment become too big? Because that's what this all comes down to. Not just skill, not just talent, but timing, opportunity, and the ability to rise when everything is on the line. And if Tatsuro Taira can do that, then 2026 won't just be another year in the UFC. It will be remembered as the moment everything changed, the moment history was finally made, the moment a quiet fighter from Okinawa became the first Japanese UFC champion, and the moment the world realized they should have been paying attention all along.
Your winner by TKO and still undefeated, Tatsuro Taira!
And if you've made it this far, then you already know this isn't just another fighter story. So before the next chapter unfolds, make sure you're part of the journey. Like the video if you believe Taira can make history. Subscribe to the channel if you don't want to miss what happens next, because if he really does it, you'll want to say you saw it coming.